Good morning. It is day 3 in the Grazalema area. So I'm starting out from Grazalema, the city, and walking up to a trail. And I think I'm going to go about 6 or 8 miles, and it's called the Pinsapar Trail. And in contrast to yesterday, I think I'm going to end up in the woods and see the pine tree that's indigenous to this area. So I'm looking forward to walking amongst those. So Peggy has some work to do today. So she's staying back at the hotel or the hostel, and she's going to do a few things around town. I've got some written directions that I got from the hostel, and then also all trails. So between those two, I hope to find my way. There's Grazalema, where I just started. I'm heading up this way. I'm not really to the trailhead yet, but I'm getting there. Another beautiful day. All right, I crossed over the fence to a reserve type area, and the trail heads up into the woods this way. So I'm still on a very steep feeder trail to the trailhead. So I had to pull a permit to walk in this area because they limit the number of people. And so I did that yesterday. It's Friday, so there wasn't a big demand. But when I got the permit, he emailed it to me in my name. But when I opened the permit, it was for some German guy named Thomas Hofer, born in 1953. So Thomas, if you're out here hiking under my name, you're north of 70 years old, so you are rocking it. Hope to see you. Let's see, I think I can figure this one out. I got about a quarter-mile road walk to the trailhead. I'm heading around to the back side of this cliff face up here, and that's where I'll be hiking most of the day. The reservoir for the town of Grazalema is down that way, perched high above the town.
Okay, let's go.
So there goes Thomas Hofer and his wife, and I will see them up the trail. So I was hoping the trail would begin on the other side of that ridge, but it looks like I have to climb the ridge first. So I'm going to have to deploy my Appalachian Trail New Hampshire superpowers right off the bat. So what we have here is a dolomite, highly fractured and broken apart. And dolomite is pretty hard stuff compared to limestone. And so that's why we probably get these mountains to have to climb. They're more resistant. I am in the forest. These are the Pinsapar pines. And this is a lot of switchbacks. So this is sort of Jacob's ladder type climb right here. We are getting up here, and I thought I'd be in the forest with no views, but there are some views. There's the town I started in. Here is a Pinsapar pine cone. Looks to be about 6 inches long. Looks like I've done my climbing for now. There's the town. And I'll get a more exact figure later, but I'm pretty sure I just came up well over 1,000 feet. And the All Trails description of this trail talks about walking in the forest and not so many views. I don't think they know what they're talking about. Wow. I am currently at 4,200 feet. And did I mention that this is yet another spectacular day? I get a lot of spectacular days here and on the AT as well. So if you want to hike in good weather, come hiking with me. All right, forget everything I said previously about Pinsapar, because the trees I was looking at back there down lower were long needle pine. And these kind of look like spruces. So I think this is the Pinsapar pine. So clearly I have some research to do. Looks a bit like Charlie's Bunion. There's the trail I just walked. I came up over that ridge. This is my view off the other side. And I think that's the town of Bosque down there, all those white buildings. And Bosque, that's the Spanish word for woods. And this is more dolomite. And you can see how it fractures. Instead of blocky, it's kind of along slanted lines. So it kind of looks like rhombuses. And if you look at the geologic symbol, if you're making like a cross section for dolomite, it's these slanted lines. And so I think that's why. Whereas if it's just limestone, it's more rectangular lines. All right, now I'm getting into the woods. It is nice and cool in here. The Pinsapars are getting a lot bigger, if that's indeed what these are. And I think what's going on is I am on the north side of the mountain, and this place, even though it's the wettest part of Spain, is fiercely hot and dry in the summer. So I think being on the north side allows these pines to grow to a good size. All right, this sign talks about making charcoal. So about how you cook the wood, cover it with earth to reduce the oxygen, and it's the same way that you make coke for iron making, and you do it with coal. I usually don't pass up a good bench or two, but I'm going further than I thought, so I'm heading down to a town called Benamahoma, and I think I'm going to find a different way back. We'll see how that goes. That's about 1,000 feet up. I am almost to Benamahoma, and then I'm going to figure out what I'm going to do from there. Not sure what's going on there. I think it might be an old water treatment plant. A series of vessels, but I don't know. Here's a large spring that begins right here. So what I saw down there is an old flour mill. So using the hydraulic head from the creek down there, they used to run the mill. So there's a museum down there. All right, I'm on plan B. I stopped at a bar in Benamahoma and had a Coke, and the bartender and I worked out an alternate route back to Grazalema. So that's the way I'm going now. According to this sign, there's the remains of an old lime kiln here. So what you need is some charcoal. You got to heat that lime up, that calcium carbonate, and you drive off some of the carbon and you get lime. This grass along the trail is freshly cut. I saw the maintenance crew sitting back there in the shade. It's getting hot. Oh boy, these trails are hard to follow. So many intersections. And this limestone terrain is funky. I'm definitely using my orienteering skills. When I was in college, I had a field course, a couple of them, and they would just give you a topographic map and an area and just say, go map the geology. So you had to know exactly where you were. All right, it took me a while because I'm slow, but I think these markers are for some kind of race. Maybe it's happened, maybe it hasn't happened yet. And they're to guide the participants through this maze of trails. And so my hope is they're guiding us to Grazalema, since that's the only town to speak of in the area. I'm still following the white flags. I hope they're taking me the right way. They are. This limestone rock is just sitting here in the trail, but looks like once upon a time it was in a cave somewhere. Oh wow. So much climbing. More to come. Alright, I just went over the pass between Benamahoma and Grazalema, and so it should be mostly or all downhill from here. And I thought this way home would be quicker and easier, and neither of those seem to be coming true. But I'm on the closing stretch, so feeling good. This section of the trail has a completely different character. Extremely well groomed, not rocky at all. It's pretty nice. There's the town I'm looking for. Grazalema. It took me, I went about 8 hours, and I'm pretty sure I went about 16 miles, maybe 17 or 18, I don't know exactly. All right, wrapping up for day 3 in Grazalema Natural Park. So I did the Pinza Par Trail, and some good climbing, some good views, and I went to a town, I think it's called Benamahoma, and I went a different way home, and so it was longer than I thought. I think I went about 18 miles. I'm not sure exactly. So had a great day doing a day hike out of the same city, Grazalema. Peggy had to do some work today, and so yeah, that's how our day went. I got back around 4:30 in the afternoon, so we're just chilling now, and we'll go to a restaurant later on when they open. They don't open till 8 or 9 around here.